It took 3 seasons, but the Reacher TV series has now fully eclipsed Tom Cruise's movie version. It may have taken 3 seasons, but Reacher has finally beaten Tom Cruise's Jack Reacher film in 2 key areas. The controversy over Tom Cruise's casting as Jack Reacher in the screen adaptation of One Shot has lingered within the franchise. Cruise's casting came about after producers spent years looking for an actor who could portray the hulking figure found in Lee Child's Jack Reacher books. When this proved near impossible, they went for star power instead. Despite the outcry against Cruise playing the role, the first film was a comfortable hit and spawned a sequel 6 years later. Amazon's Reacher would correct the Cruise casting years later when Alan Ritchson took over the role. The series has been a huge success for the streaming service, with the 3rd season receiving a new perfect Rotten Tomatoes score. While Cruise's second outing kind of sucked, the Christopher McQuarrie-directed Jack Reacher has aged very well. It's an elegantly made thriller with some great set pieces and a memorable villain in Werner Herzog's The Zek. 13 years later, Reacher finally has the film beat in those areas. A common complaint leveled against Amazon's Reacher during the first 2 series is that the villains were, well, a bit dull. They were neither a physical nor an intellectual match for Ritchson's Reacher and were easily defeated in the end. The first series had some solid set pieces, but nothing on the level of the car cruise or the finale of Cruise's Jack Reacher. When standards regarding action slipped during the 2nd season, Ritchson himself called the production out and vowed that Reacher Season 3 would do better. The main threats of Reacher's latest season were always present and actually felt like threats. I'm happy to report that, in terms of action and villains, Reacher Season 3 is now the gold standard of the franchise. Terrifying as Werner Herzog's The Zek is, his screen time is relatively brief, and he wasn't much of a physical threat to Cruise's Reacher. Season 3 had both Olivier Richter's imposing bodyguard Polly and Quinn Bryant, an old enemy from Reacher's past with a love of torture and mind games. Whereas previous antagonists faded into the background, the main threats of Reacher's latest season were always present and actually felt like threats. The action felt crunchier and better executed too, from the fake kidnapping that opened the series all the way to the shootouts and fights featured in the finale, Unfinished Business. The Reacher vs. Polly fight is the franchise's best set piece yet. Cruise and McQuarrie are best known for the wild action set pieces of their Mission Impossible collaborations, but Jack Reacher was intended as a more low-key franchise for Cruise. Hence, the set pieces are less intricate, but when the fights of shootouts happened, McQuarrie brought a visceral edge to them. If there was a poll, then the exhilarating car chase McQuarrie staged for the film would rank the highest among the entire series, but Reacher Season 3's Polly vs. Reacher fight might have it beat. When Tom Cruise first brought Jack Reacher to life in the 2012 film Jack Reacher, fans of Lee Child's iconic character were divided. While the action was thrilling and Cruise delivered his usual Hollywood-grade intensity, something never quite clicked. Now 3 seasons into Prime Video's Reacher series, it's clear that Alan Ritchson's portrayal of the ex-military drifter has not only met fan expectations, but redefined what a screen adaptation of the novel should be. It took time, patience, and a lot of bruised bad guys, but Reacher has finally eclipsed the Tom Cruise films in every meaningful way. A Reacher who looks like Reacher. The biggest and most immediate difference between the show and the movies is visual, and for fans of the books, this was no small matter. Jack Reacher is described as a towering, intimidating force, 6'5", 250 pounds of sheer muscle and presence. Tom Cruise, though a skilled and charismatic actor, stands 5'7" and never matched Reacher's physically imposing presence. It wasn't just a nitpick. Reacher's size isn't just for show. It affects how he moves through the world, how people treat him, and how he solves problems, often through raw force. Alan Ritchson is that physical presence. His bulk, his confident gait, and his cold stare all scream Jack Reacher before he even throws a punch. It's a return to the source material in the best possible way, and it finally gives viewers the Reacher fans imagined for years. Slow burn storytelling that pays off. The Reacher TV series also benefits from the long-form storytelling of television. While Cruise's 2 Reacher films, Jack Reacher in 2012 and Never Go Back in 2016, were limited to under 2 hours of runtime, the TV series spreads each story over 8 rich episodes. This gives room for more world-building, deeper character arcs, and a better sense of the communities Reacher blows into, and often out of, like a justice-seeking tornado. Each season focuses on a single book, allowing the narrative to breathe. Season 1's Killing Floor adaptation introduced a gritty, suspenseful murder mystery. Season 2's take on bad luck and trouble dove deeper into Reacher's past and his relationships with former military colleagues. Season 3 promises a new, even more emotionally charged journey, and now that the foundation is solid, the showrunners are flexing their storytelling muscles. None of this was possible in the movies, which always had to rush toward an action-packed conclusion. A hero who talks like Reacher. While Tom Cruise played Reacher with cool detachment and a few witty lines, the show's version of Reacher reflects Lee Child's prose more closely. He's not a chatterbox, but Richardson's Reacher speaks with a kind of blunt precision that mirrors the book's. He's direct, calculating, sometimes sarcastic, and always in control of the conversation. His dry humor and sharp insights make him far more compelling than the stoic movie version. In fact, Richardson has managed to balance Reacher's brutality with an unexpectedly cerebral side. He's not just muscle, he's always 3 steps ahead. Whether he's deducing a criminal's motives or predicting where an ambush will come from, this Reacher shows his intelligence as much as his strength. That makes for a much richer character than Cruise's more reactive, guns-blazing hero. Supporting characters that matter. Another major advantage of the show over the movies is its ensemble cast. In the Tom Cruise-led films, the supporting players felt more like set dressing than integral parts of the story. Rosamund Pike's character in the first film, for instance, never had the chemistry or complexity she deserved. The Reacher series, by contrast, has delivered standout supporting characters in every season. Willa Fitzgerald's Roscoe and Malcolm Goodwin's Finley in Season 1 became instant fan favorites. Season 2's reunion of Reacher's old unit gave viewers a rare look into the man's loyalty and the cost of military service. These relationships aren't just emotional filler, they drive the story and shape Reacher's character. The violence hits harder and smarter. Both the movies and the show deliver on action, but where Cruise's Reacher often felt like a slick action hero, Richardson's version is more grounded, brutal, and believable. Fights in the series are quick, efficient, and packed with tension. They're not choreographed to look pretty, they're designed to look real. And they do. The show doesn't glamorize violence. Instead, it treats it like a necessary, often ugly part of Reacher's world. That makes each brawl more impactful, and it reinforces how dangerous this man really is. When Richardson's Reacher says, "Don't," you believe him. And when someone doesn't listen, they regret it fast. Faithful to the books, finally, at its heart, the reason the Reacher series has surpassed the movies is simple. It respects the source material. Lee Child's novels are beloved not just for their thrilling plots, but for the meticulous way they explore justice, power, and isolation. The show understands that. Each season feels like a love letter to the fans, and